How's it going, guys? My name is FakeThriller. This is GameSpeak episode 5. Welcome. We have a full cast tonight, and everybody knows who everybody is, so we're not going to go around the horn that way. We're going to get right into ghost stories, according to Tony.
I thought it would be a good way to, it's October. Halloween's
Spooky.
right around the corner. Are you guys dressing up for Halloween?
No, but you should see what I'm dressing my son up as. He's going to be a cow.
A cow?
Yeah, we got him. It was on sale. It was like $10, and it's like a full baby onesie with a hood that comes over, and it's got like a cow face on it and everything.
Awesome.
Looks pretty adorable. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
My daughter
Because
was a chicken last year.
A chicken, really?
Mm-hmm.
What's the story behind being a chicken?
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone found a chicken suit. I think it's like the same story. It's like they make these adorable tiny suits for baby people, and someone's got to wear it. So,
Dude, I will say, like, they had a couple other costumes wherever my wife found these, I forget, somewhere online, and one of them was a dinosaur. Like, it had like the spines all the way down the back and the tail, and I was like, oh my god, he should be a dinosaur. But she had a good point. She was like, well, if he does it next year, he'll actually be able to, like, make dinosaur noises and walk and crawl and all that. I was like, touche.
Yeah.
Right now, he just, sits there. And his face doesn't do anything.
Oh, man. That's funny, because for the Let's Play that I'm doing, the Doom 3 Let's Play, if I'm still going through the Let's Play when Halloween comes, I think I'm going to wear a costume while I'm playing. So, I don't want to give it away yet, but I have an idea of what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
It should be a lot of fun. I love Halloween.
We should go off tangent at some other point, not at the beginning.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
All right, so let's cover Medal of Honor Warfighter. I know we've been talking about that a lot the past couple weeks because of the beta and everything, but it just dropped today, so who hasn't gotten a chance to play it since it dropped last night? Yeah, everyone's played it. All right. Who wants to start? I am, like I said, I kind of had a rough day today. I am not really in a good mood. I'm not the person you want to hear feedback on the game, so I'm going to hand it off. Whoever wants it, take it, run. Do whatever.
I haven't had any problems. I've been hearing people have problems connecting, disconnecting. I was good. I have the physical copy. I don't know if that matters. Probably doesn't. But
Yeah,
I've been having a blast. A blasty blast. I played it for
has the PC servers been working fine? Because on the console, I don't know if they've even.
I mean, I know some people on PC have been having issues. Like Jimmy the Snake can't connect more than like 5 minutes, but I've been fine.
Oh, sucks to be him.
I know.
Well, what's funny is I put a tweet out this morning. I think when I woke up, I played one match last night just to kind of see it, and I got disconnected right after it. I was like, what? And there was nobody online. So I was like, what the hell? So I hope it's not a trend because one match and I got disconnected. I heard that Jamie had a lot of black screens of death because the video he put out today, he was talking about it. Couple of crashes and whatnot. So
I keep getting black screen every once in a while.
Yeah. Now, you getting it at the end of the match or right in the middle of the game?
End of the match.
I did
Okay.
crash once at the end.
Chris and I had that happen twice now. Last night, we got it at midnight release. We had one time we got disconnected, and then another time we got the black screen of death at the end, and then that happened again today.
The best thing I've had happen is when I spawn in, I just fall to the bottom of the map. Have you guys seen that yet?
What?
I haven't had it happen yet.
You just drop, and then you die, and then you spawn back in, and you drop, and then you die, and then you spawn back in. It's like an endless cycle.
Oh my god!
I've not experienced that.
Because you can't stop the spawn, and when you get that glitch, you can't change anything. Like you're just stuck in that. I've had it happen multiple times now.
That sucks. So, all right,
Do they have a suicide function like in Battlefield?
No, they don't even have a quick game function.
Dude,
wait. Yeah, they do.
No,
Wait,
they
yeah,
don't.
it's like
No.
top, far all the way to the right.
No, we don't. On PC, there is no option to quit the game without closing the entire window.
Oh,
What?
You have to be you have to be spawned in to quit. It's in the menu, but you have to be spawned in and then do escape, and then it's like kind of mid bottom right. I was trying to figure that out earlier, and I found it eventually.
Really?
We spawned in. It's pretty stupid.
That's kind of silly.
Yeah.
So when you guys are playing, do you have to use battle log to like from
You can
Battlefield?
use either.
Oh, okay. Because wasn't
really
it like Battlefield was played through the actual browser?
Yeah.
So now it plays like from the disc or whatever.
Well, no, I don't. I have the physical copy I installed from the disc, and I don't need the disc in to play. But with Battlefield, you have to use Battlelog in the web browser. Even if you say launch in Origin, it'll just take you to Battlelog. But with Medal of Honor, you could do either or. But if you open the game via Origin and then try to use Battlelog, it fails. It won't let you do that. So you have to either use one or the other. But I like that. I hope they use that for Battlefield 4 because having your friends in game and browsing it in game, I thought it was kind of nice. Just my opinion.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. I hate the battle log system. Me and Snoop tried to play BF3 the other day on PC. Like on a whim, we were like, let's do it. And I was like losing my mind trying to figure out how to delete friends. And granted, I don't know my way around Battlelog very well, but I was so frustrated by the browser menu thing.
Yeah, it was funny. He's like, how do I delete someone? I'm like, I don't know, Google. Oh, do this. He's like, okay. Well, how do I do that? I don't fucking know, Google.
You didn't send him that "let me Google it for you" link.
No.
There was no time for that. No time to be a smartass. So is that what we're gonna do? Are we gonna go around and say things that we like, or do we want to talk about all the things that have gone terribly wrong so far?
We can do a bit of both, but I think let's start with the things that we like, and I'll go first just for shits and giggles. The things I do like about the game, the maps, not the design, just the look of them. They look nice. I kind of like it. There's a good amount of attention to detail. Not just how they play. I'm specifically talking how they look. They don't look too gimmicky. They don't look like they're lacking detail. There's just it looks nice. I like it. That's my one thing that I can come up with at the moment.
That you like. Well, there's been some improvements since the beta. Like I don't think we've been separated out of our fire team yet, so that's
true.
A huge plus.
If you want to get into technical aspects of things we like, I guess that would probably be a little bit better than the map looks pretty.
But they do.
Well, the maps. I don't want to jump right into the negatives, but I think the maps are a huge problem.
Well, who cares what we're talking about then? As far as starting going bad, just whatever is most prominent about the game to you, go with it. So continue with your thought.
The maps drive me crazy because it's like they seem to be designed to have like 4 to 5 routes to get from one side of the map to the other, and most of the game modes create these weird like gun-on-gun battles. Yeah, like spawn traps almost. Like where every single choke point is locked up by 2 or 3 people, and I think the most frustrating thing is there's no way for me to find my own way. There's so many people on our team and so many people on the map and so few ways to move around that you always run smack into somebody. Like you always come up behind your teammate when he's already shooting at somebody across the map. Like very rarely are you able to go all the way around the map and pull off a flank or just avoid the battle, from what I've experienced.
Do you guys play combat mission or what?
We've tried everything. I think the most that we've played is team deathmatch, just to try and get used to the maps and everything. But yeah, we played a little bit of everything.
Home run mode's pretty awesome, I think.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I saw your video where you were saying it was good, but I didn't find it very.
Well, I mean, I
thrilling
played
at all.
with like almost a full team of people. Like I think we had 5 people playing with us, so it was a lot easier to kind of control the flow of the game versus if you're playing with like just 1 or 2 people.
But how fast did it go?
What do you mean?
If you guys kind of had a stacked team, not so much as a stacked team, but a team where all of you were communicating effectively, like how fast did those rounds last?
I mean, I don't know. We lost our first game, so it wasn't like we were all powerful.
I think we only played 2 games and we won both, and it just like it was so fast paced. We jumped right in, and every round only lasted maybe a minute. Like maybe.
I think that's just because people were jumpy. They didn't really know what was going on.
That's
I don't know.
true.
I had a lot of fun in it. It was a nice change of pace. I think that game mode would be amazing for Battlefield 3.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome if they put that in Aftermath. But here we are looking at like scavenger mode. But
Right. I gotta say the thing that I guess. All right, I'll buy that. With what you said, maybe because it's so early into the release that everyone's just kind of thinking, well, no one really knows what to do, so they're jumpy. They're rushing things, and it's just not playing out the way that you would hope it would. Maybe in a couple weeks, when people kind of figure it out and get more comfortable with whatever class they're using and their weapons and the whole 9 yards, things will slow down a little bit and get a little. At the same time, be a little bit more intense because now the whole team's using more tactics, make things interesting. So I didn't really care for it for now.
I would say we saw that during the beta. It was like you guys were commenting about. It's pretty much essentially team deathmatch, and then once people started to get the flow of the game, then they started to play the objective more.
That's true.
So give it a few days, and I think you'll start to see more objective players, come around.
the thing that I'm most disappointed with is the combat missions aren't really that good. Like, they're nothing like the old ones. Like, that was the one thing I thought Medal of Honor 2010 did awesome.
Because,
It doesn't feel right to me. Like, they just feel like... It feels like a glorified hotspot mode. I mean, it feels exactly the same. There's really not that many differences between the two, so... it's not even really like Battlefield 3 Rush. It's kind of just like searching for an identity, and I can't really figure out, what they're trying to go for with that game mode. So I was pretty disappointed about the way they executed that, because there's no vehicles even, which was something that was a huge part of the first one.
See, I never played Medal of Honor 2010. They had vehicles in it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they had tanks.
Was that in the DLC?
No.
What? I don't
If you
remember.
played if you played combat mission on either, what was that map? It was like in the side of a mountain, and you worked your way down into the village.
Yeah, that was
had-
like Sniper Haven.
Yeah, that had an Abrams on it.
What? Well, for PC?
No, for everything.
I don't remember a tank in that mission. That's really weird. Because it was like a crash site, right? You like, if you're the attacking team, you spawned into like a helicopter crash site, and you had to like fight your way through.
You're thinking of that map was called Osprey on like the Snowside Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's something different.
Okay.
The one I'm talking about is it's like a dry desert, and you work your way up the mountain. I don't know.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Hey, has anyone figured out what the tokens are for? I don't even know what they're called, but it tells me I have a lot of tokens at the end of each map or match.
I think they're like Pokemon. You're supposed to just collect them all, man.
I used 120 today. I don't know what for though.
Oh.
How'd you use them then? If you
Yeah. Share. Come on.
No, I use them on like you vote for United States, and you just like a competition, and like whoever votes the most tokens wins or something. I don't know.
Oh, is that on
nations.
Battlelog?
Yeah,
Or
it's
is
on
that in the
Battlelog.
game?
Oh yeah, it says Warfighter
like an
Nations.
XP if
Collect
you-
tokens, spend tokens, win the seasons.
Oh, is that the competition that South Korea is winning? I saw that South Korea was ahead of us in
Mine
something
says
last night.
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe's winning.
Yeah, mine says Zimbabwe.
I don't really think it's fair for the first season, because we got the game like 5 days earlier than the UK, and like all of Europe, I think actually.
Yeah.
Well, you can choose. I mean, you technically don't have to. Yeah, never mind. You can choose
Yeah.
the country you want. I don't know why you would choose a different country, but.
America.
Oh,
America.
okay. It's tokens applied to America.
God damn.
That's all they do? Is there in
You
Battlelog?
get a date bonus.
Mm.
You get a ribbon if you spend 10 tokens.
Nice.
What?
So I know that like they were talking about how they were supposedly streamlined the menu system, so it would be a little bit more intuitive or easier to navigate. I don't know. I didn't really see anything that they changed to me. I got
One
into
thing
it.
they did was when you had the choice of like spawning in on your buddy or choosing to fall back, below it they added a button saying change, like hit X to change weapon or hit Y to change soldier. So it just, from that screen you can quickly jump to like 2 screens over if you want, but I still feel like it's kind of a cluster, and it's Like, the menu ejects you from things sometimes. Like, you select that, okay, I want to use this gun now. Instead of letting you turn around and start selecting attachments and everything, it launches you back to the spawn screen and sometimes spawns you instantly. And then you're stuck. Like, it happened to me. I was stuck with a gun with, like, iron sights because I got spawned automatically.
Yeah,
I hate that crap.
I think the thing that I'm really struggling with in this game, there's two things. One, hit detection. I don't know if it's like a lag compensation issue or something, but there was a couple of the games, and I ended up fucking flipping out. Like, almost threw my controller across the room, rage quit this afternoon because it was 2 straight games, and I just got my ass kicked. I came around corners and, you know, saw an enemy with his back to me and engaged them before they even got to me. And no joke, there was at least 3 or 4 guys that I went and shot, got like 5 or 6 hit markers, and then they turned on me and dropped me within 2 shots. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know where. I don't know what server we're playing on. Because that's the other thing I don't like. You can't select your region. If you go through and you see all the servers, like I believe you can see what region they're in, but you. No. What am I forget what it's.
Console problems, bro.
I know it sucks. It's
We have fun.
I really wish we could pick our regions for the servers because I feel like I was on the shit end of some really, really bad engagements due to, I don't know, maybe ping issues. I don't fucking know. All I know is that I had a really bad day today.
But did you guys
awesome.
use the server browser, or did you guys just quick match?
Well, we tried the server browser, especially last night, and it said 0 of 20 or 0 of whatever on every single
Yeah, that's what I
server.
had last night too.
And that's what I said to Chris. I was like, "You're shitting me. I know we're on East Coast. We got it earlier, but you can't be telling me that fucking no one's on right now." So we just went to quick match, and at that point, we never had a problem getting into a full game. But if you went and tried to select an individual server, they were all empty.
But for the quick match though, you didn't select what type of game type. It just picked whatever needed 2 people.
No,
you can
we
pick.
selected our game type.
Oh, okay. Did you
Are
see
you guys
though?
on
They have
Xbox?
a little option in there
Yeah.
to, like, you know, keep the squad together if you've got a whole party together.
Yes,
I saw that was pretty cool. I like that.
that's true. You know, so long as it continues to work.
Yeah. No.
We
Yeah,
have.
we've already. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the problem I have with the party system is you can't. If you get put on the other team, you can't switch. You can't switch fire teams.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't quit the game, I guess, apparently, unless you spawn in, which is kind of counterintuitive. But
Right. Well, Battlefield 3 did that same thing. You couldn't like rage quit after a death because you had to wait until the menu came back up.
oh yeah, at
Like,
least
when
you can go
lost-
to the menu though.
Yeah,
I know.
That's the other
But,
thing we noticed. I don't. It can't be Xbox specific, but there's a couple times where we're like, okay, want to leave the lobby and go find another lobby because for whatever reason, you're like, yeah, sure, what the hell. And I was almost always the lobby leader. And before Chris could quit, I would quit and he'd get pulled out with me. So I guess a word of caution to those: if you've got a big party, and I would be careful who your party leader is, because if you're all locked in and they rage quit, I'm pretty sure they're going to pull the entire team with them.
Well, only if
Yeah.
they choose to.
Did
From
you
what I understand.
option, Chris?
Well,
It didn't
does
give
on
me the
PC.
option. No, I was.
I don't
On
know
P-
if you get the same option on console or not. So.
Okay.
I noticed on PC that when I was the leader, I had the option to take my party with me. Not when I was the follower of the... Like, if I was a party leader and I was leaving, it said, do you want to bring your party with you? And I was like, no, I don't know who's in my party. So I just said no.
Well,
I haven't been...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I haven't really been in someone else's party that
Okay.
left. So I wouldn't know about that part. Apparently, according to Jake, InTheWorks, who's a boss, you can choose not to take everyone in your party. But you
Yeah,
can
I
also-
mean, I've never witnessed it, but everyone has pulled me out with them when they've rage quit because you could choose not to go or something.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because it's like, do you want to take your party? It'll give you the option. And
Yeah.
if the guy wants to be a dick, he'll say yes. Or,
yeah.
That's kind
I
of
wonder if
funny.
that's like a PC thing.
It's a
Not the
fucking
being a
button.
dick part, but like
Uh-huh.
the pulling the party out. No, because like I wonder if it's like a locked in thing. You know, if you're not locked in, if you're in the party but not locked in, then maybe you just don't get pulled out when the party leader bails.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. I would
What does
test
that
that.
even? What is locked in? What does that even mean? It
It's
means,
just
like,
It's supposed to keep you locked in with your fire team buddy, like from your party, whoever you're lined up
you
with.
would think joining the fire team in the first place would say, "Hey, I want to be with this guy."
Right, and no, instead it's like, okay, we got a party of 6 and we've all got it figured out, but... Or no, actually, no, we won't even go that far. It's just me and my friend, we're going to play. So, because we didn't lock in, yeah, fuck it, switch me around. I don't feel like playing with you anymore.
Medal of Honor
Well, it
thinks
did
you
that
guys
once.
would be better served by playing against each other instead.
Yeah.
Sean, I did
Yeah,
that
I
once
like
when
that.
I was in your party. You were the party leader. You hit join game. It failed to load you into the game, but it sucked me in, and there's like
Yeah.
plenty of room. I was like, what is going on with this game? It's got a
The
mind
only
of its
other
own.
thing, right? The thing I didn't like about the beta, which I thought was really, really stupid, and I don't know if it was doing it, so Chris, you're going to have to confirm on this. During the beta, so say it was just me and Chris, and I was the party leader. I would hit join game, and as it's pulling me in, it would pop up a little prompt for Chris saying, "Do you really want to join this game?" It's like, well, I'm fucking in his fire team, and I've locked my position, so yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah.
I kind of want to go in this game. Does it still do that?
It still asks you if you want to go.
Does that seem stupid?
So weird,
Is
yeah.
it, or is it
It
just
would
me?
be nice if it was like
No,
a
it's not you.
convenience thing, but you can tell they don't care about your convenience because they don't like you spawn in, you get about 10 or you get loaded into the game, you get about 10 seconds to fiddle with your class, and then it auto spawns you, and then it goes and gives you another 10 seconds to change your class, but it like has to interrupt you, and it's totally inconvenient. Like the whole menu system
Yeah.
is like bizarre the way it operates.
I think we've been for anyone that's in the stream and listening to us. I know we're kind of focusing on a lot of nitpicky things that are like little technical issues as far as the menu. We should try and bounce back to the actual gameplay aspect of it and things you like or didn't like. And
Oh, I have a whole list of those.
all right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you start because I gotta collect my thoughts so I can maybe sound a little bit more coherent than I usually do.
Let's start with some positives. I do like the gun customization. Like, I was a little underwhelmed
is
in the
cool.
beta, but I mean, some of it's cool. I mean, there's some aspects that are just like, okay, what is the point of this? Because it doesn't seem to change anything. That's what one thing I wish developers were more open about is what guns actually do. Because if, let's say, you don't watch YouTube and you play Battlefield 3, you would never ever know that the foregrip's going to reduce your accuracy at longer ranges, you know? And
Right.
I think that this game kind of suffers from that because, like, the flash suppressor, what does that do? I mean, we don't actually know what it does. It's there, and you can put it on if you want.
Well, and that's to build on that, like the in-game statistics, the little bars that fill up and go down. I don't know if those
Those are
actually
never
mean
accurate.
anything. Yeah, like you put a silencer on and your stealth goes way up. Like that's kind of bizarre. Like that's a weird thing to have a meter on. So I don't know how accurate those are in the first place. But go ahead.
But I was going to say, another thing that I like about it is the game modes. I already talked about that. I do like the home run mode. I kind of like hotspot mode on some of the other maps. I'm not a huge fan of it on Stadium still, because I mean, I'm sure we all played enough of that in the beta. But combat mission was a little disappointing. I already touched on that, but I like the variety of the classes too. That was something that I did enjoy. Negatives though, let's get into some negatives. I feel like the gunplay in this game is just like 3 to 4 years behind the curve. Because like when you go from Battlefield 3 and you go to this game, Battlefield 3, when you shoot and you aim, that's where your bullets go to within a certain degree. I mean, it's like you feel like you have total control of your character. Whereas like with this, I feel like my gun has a lot of artificial recoil that's bouncing around, and the bloom on the weapons just doesn't seem realistic to me, and it's really difficult because like on Battlefield 3, it's a lot easier to control your recoil by compensating it with your mouse. But on this game, it's like even if you have good accuracy, I'm like, why am I not hitting this guy? And it takes so many bullets to kill people. Sometimes it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, long range, like you see a guy with just his head and shoulders sticking up over the
Yep. Good luck
the
with
shelf.
that.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't hit that person. And if you do, it's gonna you get like 4 or 5 hit markers. It doesn't do anything.
And I think the last thing that I want to touch on, I have a ton of stuff, but I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but the optics just drive me nuts. Like, they're
Yeah.
so realistic, but, the AUG A3, everyone keeps saying, talk about that. Well, I'll talk about it in the actual game, the F-88. The Australian version of it is like you can't get anything below a 3x zoom, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't want this. I want iron sights or something, you know, a red dot sight. I don't want a 3x zoom rifle scope on my AUG, and that's really frustrating to me. That some of the weapons in the game are so limited by the optical choices. Now, I guess they're being realistic because I've heard that you can't actually use the AUG without a sight. I don't know if that's accurate, so maybe that's why they're doing it. But it is frustrating to me that so many weapons come with such crappy optical attachments.
Or just the attachments themselves. It drives me crazy that the only difference between the two magazine options seems to be a couple pieces of tape. Like, I don't even, if it's supposed to be like a look or something. But like they don't have, I miss the aspect of like customizing your gun with things that actually benefit the performance of the gun.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could start with iron sights and work your way up.
Yeah, I don't
understand.
And that's the
why
thing is, the one thing that truly makes a difference in the game, I think it's optics and suppressors. And some of the guns just flat out come with both.
Have you guys unlocked the AA-12?
No, not yet.
Oh, that comes with a beautiful optical attachment as soon as you get it. It's kind of frustrating that a shotgun comes with like a high zoom optic to start.
What?
Let alone the AA-12, which is like a close range weapon.
It almost seems like when they went ahead and started creating the like gun creator class or gun customization menu, when it came down to the actual weapons and what you started with for attachments, it's like they had a randomizer. And they're just like, click, randomize. Okay, so the AA-12 gets a zoom scope to start. Perfect! And they just went through from there.
I think it is. These are supposed to be those tier 1 operatives. This is what they're using in the field, right?
Yeah, the AA-12 with his, you know,
with his
zoom
yeah.
scope.
Yeah.
And the AA-12 will take someone out of it. I mean, you could probably kill someone with an AA-12 at like 50 yards pretty easily.
Yeah, but I don't think the operatives run around with automatic shotguns in like the swamplands and stuff, because like that will. Some of those lines of sight are ridiculous, and it's like the AA-12, like you literally have to be like this close to them to get like hit markers.
Yeah. All right, Jess, what did you dislike so far from your experience today?
Well, actually, I think the thing that stood out to me the most, which is weird, is the in-game voice. Unlike Battlefield.
You like it?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's like awesome. I'm saying the fact that they actually have it.
I get so frustrated by it.
I haven't really used it that much, except for at the end of the round when everyone's screaming.
That's
which
what I
sounds
mean.
Awful.
It's like you're telling these kids are like they have their TVs on and you can hear like laugh tracks in the background. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. But I like the option. I like to have the option to chat with my fire team buddy if I need to, because I've been hopping into random games and yelling. No one's talked back to me yet. Maybe I didn't set it up right, but or maybe they're just like, who is this 12-year-old
like,
that's
oh,
with
God.
me who's a little boy? But I don't know. That's what I liked. And I've really only been using. People keep asking what the favorite classes are. I've really only been using the assaulter because I like to get used to using that assault rifle. That's pretty much all I've been doing.
That's what I've been doing. I've been
Also
probably 85% of my time has been spent with the Spec Ops class, and I'm actually it almost feels like a huge handicap when you stop using it because you can't see through walls anymore.
Because you can't
Right?
use the MK-18.
You're Superman, so you can see through walls. You don't like. Why wouldn't you use it?
I mean, you get the best assault rifle. You get the best
Your best
ability.
mobility.
Yeah, the best ability. I would argue that it doesn't have the best kill streaks, which or score streaks. My mistake. Score chain rewards, which I think is the point man. But
I would counter that because you could either have smoke for your objectives, or you could have mortars. You know, everyone gets so they all get the Apache, and you still get like a 120 round artillery attack. I mean, you get really cool shit. I think the negative about it is it seems like the bullet spread is ridiculous on the assault rifles.
Dude, bullet spread is ridiculous on all the guns in this game. Yeah. That is the one aspect above anything else that legitimately pisses me off about Medal of Honor, is that hip firing is fucking non-existent. I really
Terrible.
hoped they were gonna tighten up the spread from beta to initial release, and who knows? I mean, they still could. There's still time for them to patch it. I mean, it's only day one of release, but it's infuriating. You go play any other first-person shooter, and hip firing, it's an option. You can do that. You can get away with it.
That's what I was saying. Like, the gunplay feels like they took like 5 steps backwards with it. Like, Medal of Honor 2010 wasn't a bad game conceptually, but like the execution was horrible. So if they would have just kept that type of gunplay and maybe moved on to like a different style of spawning and just this game in general, I think this game would have been a lot more successful. Instead of what we got is like the spreads on the weapons are just off the chart. Like hip fire, aim down sights, it's like if you don't aim down sight, you're gonna die basically.
Yep.
And it sucks because you have a rifle scope on your weapon in close quarters.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with you.
want to play devil's advocate really quick though.
Oh.
Because just to think about this. Okay, so you got games like Call of Duty where you could pretty much never aim down sights and kill everything. Battlefield is a nice balance where close quarters, it's a pretty viable option. But this game, because it's so close for the most part, I think they probably wanted to take that arcade element out of the game, perhaps.
I will agree with that. You're kind of actually playing off the same thought process I had. I can understand if they want to be different. Like, okay, well, you got the Call of Duties where you can pretty much hip fire people from across the map and you're okay, and then you got Battlefield, which has a pretty good balance between the two. Well, let's be different. Being different's okay if it's better. Being different and making it shit or just worse in general, not good. And I think that's what they've done. They've tried to make
they've taken it to the extreme, and you want them to
very
reel
wrong
it back
extreme.
in.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense even from like a realistic standpoint. Why would your spread get so astronomically larger just like holding your weapon like this? I mean, that means most zombie movies, nobody would ever hit anybody if they were going by the Medal of Honor
exactly.
strategy.
Nobody hits anything in the movies except for the good guy, anyways.
Right.
Well, and that's a mechanic
Watch
that
old James
people.
Bond movies.
That's a mechanic people rely on. It's something that you sort of.
Well, I mean, it just doesn't make sense that it's like you could walk up to a dude standing 3 feet from you and you unload an entire magazine into the dude and you don't get a single hit marker because you're fighting
He
from
turns
the hip.
around and he hatchets your ass. You're like,
Yeah. So the only other thing that I've really noticed about the game that I'm kind of like touch and go on is the overall like the controls. One of the comments we had on today's video was how do the controls feel / gameplay compared to Battlefield 3, like running, going to crouch, reloads, and all that stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I've been struggling to get down to prone. Like I'll be engaging someone, I'll be sitting behind a wall, and I'll click for prone, and my guy just doesn't move. I'm like clicking, and he just doesn't fucking want to move. And other times I barely brush up against it, and all of a sudden I'm down on the ground. It just seems that one aspect, more than anything else, seems still a little clunky. Everything else is relatively smooth. Like I can vault over things pretty easily, but for some reason getting in and out of prone is kind of a joke. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is anyone else experiencing that?
No, I know what you're saying. It's like Battlefield 3 is clunky feeling compared to Call of Duty, and Medal of Honor is. I think so.
oh, this is that.
Well, let's talk from console.
It's not. Yeah, that's true. I think I need to look at it from that. I will agree with you there. On console, Call of Duty is much smoother.
Well,
but I feel
60
like
frames versus 30 frames.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
a
like
big
Medal
deal.
of Honor is clunkier than Battlefield 3. Like it's just harder to move. The only thing I like about Medal of Honor's movement is your guy has this weird ability to like strafe sideways like really quickly. You can almost like keep your back.
Can you guys lean and peek in the console version?
No.
I've heard of people doing it. I think I saw someone doing it, but I don't know how to do it. I haven't tried it
I think it's
yet.
like Q and E on PC, if I'm not mistaken.
I
You can
tried
link-
it.
My
didn't
console
work.
doesn't come with a Q and E button. I need a button layout combination for that, sir.
Has anyone noticed like the modified dolphin dive, if you will, where you go down to just crouch,
Yeah,
but
the-
you slide a couple feet on your knees?
Yeah,
the baseball slide.
I hate that. It's really weird because there are a couple times during the beta that I wanted to get down, and you're right at the place where you want to get down, and all of a sudden you get down and you're about a foot forward, and then suddenly you're exposed instead of behind cover.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
you're like walking up to that corner, you're like, oh, I'm gonna crouch out behind this corner, you're like,
Yeah.
slide out in the open, you're like,
You slide out, like, oh, that was
just fucking try and shoot
cool.
back.
Like, yeah, I know you're scooting back really quick. Yeah, I noticed that during the beta. I mean, I can't really talk much about the actual game right now because I've got 4 whole minutes played, so I can only talk about the beta still.
I think we played for almost 4 hours last night after midnight release. We're
Jesus.
up
Holy
pretty late.
shit, that must have been fun today.
Yeah, I'm
It wasn't
tired.
bad, I got to sleep in, so it didn't matter.
I didn't sleep in,
Me
so
too.
I'm dragging ass right now. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering, because last night was really fun. We like dominated. We ended the night with like a 93% win rate, and we played this morning or all day today. We've just been getting bent over like all day, and I don't know if it's because like I'm tired, so I can't play well, or if like everyone else in the world has the game, so the connections are shittier because it might have been just East Coast last night, or if just more people are on.
I think it's
And
your
they're-
second thing. I honestly think it's a connection issue going across the board because it's not like we're that overtired that your skill level should drop that much. I mean, you can tell the difference between if you're just playing shit and when things just don't make sense, and that's what I saw a lot of today. There were definitely a lot of deaths where I was like, okay, that was on me because I fucking completely missed that guy. I drew a nice, pretty outline of him on that wall, but there was still a lot of engagements where I came out of it just like, what the? I couldn't understand it. It didn't make any sense to me.
So I think the most frustrating thing for me, you guys have said that the bullet spread is like crazy. The thing I'm having the hardest time with is the map navigation, and it's not what I was talking about before with like there's only so many routes, but there's so many places that look like you should be able to go, like
And you
stones
can't.
Yeah, you should be able to step right up on them, but they just don't let you. That drives me crazy.
You can't climb on anything, and I mean anything. Like, there's a couple ledges that you can accidentally fall on, but then you can't advance from that point. And it's like you can't get any good sniper positions. It's like, even if you do find a ledge that you can peek over, the freaking, like, rock will have, like, a hitbox that extends beyond the actual visual
Yeah.
range.
Yeah.
That
So
that
it's-
drove me crazy. I would just poke out. My red dot would be clearly beyond the rock, and I would just get all these sparks flying up in my face because there's a hitbox.
It's just like
Invisible
Armor
wall,
Kill
yeah.
round 2.
Well, that's what when you were talking about clunkiness, there's something about the beta that I noticed. You know, where say if you've got like an object like a water bottle, and like Battlefield, you know, the actual animation invisibility box is like right here. It seems like it's that much bigger in Medal of
Yeah.
Honor sometimes. You know, you can't shoot through stuff. You can't shoot through fences.
Then leaves.
Yeah, so for like what you were saying, Jake, where it's 5 years behind. Yeah, I'll give you that definitely in that. It's just not like a modern. We're used to, unfortunately, because of Call of Duty, we're used to be able to shoot through stuff, and then like close quarters, you can shoot through a lot of stuff.
It's weird though because it's not even like I don't want them to even have to figure out bullet penetration through a leaf. I just want that leaf to be in like a visible, like non-existent object. I don't want it to have any properties. I just want to pass through it.
Yeah,
So
just
I don't-
run right.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like. Yeah.
It's like because in the Sarajevo map, when you come down from that sort of that T building and you're coming out kind of facing the building spawn, when you make that quick U-turn, there's that shrub that's right there that you can never seem to run through, that you have to go around. That's the kind of stuff that always drove me nuts.
I'm not. Some of the things that are in the map, you're right. You run into it and you're like, why am I running into that? It's fucking pebble. I should be able to kick that over. Like, no, you cannot walk around that or walk over that, sir. You have to walk around it.
And that's a Battlefield problem too. You know, you come up on these little steps that are like this big, and your soldier's full-size man, then he can't take one step and walk over it. You got to jump over stuff. I always found that annoying about Battlefield, but I guess that's sort of the smoothness that maybe it'll get fixed in, you know, like a Battlefield 4 or whatever. Frostbite 3s will be coming out one day.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what
That's
nations did
another
you guys
thing.
pick?
I don't even know. Like, does that matter?
I have no allegiance.
No allegiance, even mercenary.
Yeah. Whoever
Like-
gives me the best weapons, I will go to. So
That's kind of how I'm feeling too. But perks are a big thing too. Like I've been rocking Point Man because it plays to my strengths. I'm a running gunner. I like running right up the middle. I like playing very, very aggressive and getting in people's faces. So, and the point man allows me to move the fastest. So that's
I
that's
love
got my
the
allegiance.
870 too. Like
The what?
people, I hated the 870 in the beta, but I have like 50 kills with it now. The shotgun.
Man, yeah,
Everyone thinks it's garbage, but man, if you get in close, it's one shot, one shot, one shot. I've already got like 3 triples.
The only thing I don't like about it, because you're right, if you get up in people's faces, it's a one shot. But I don't know what that range is, that it goes from one shot to, like,
4.
tickling. Like, you're at like 5 feet and you can just blow someone away, and you go back to 6 feet and they're like, was it a little breath of wind by my face? I felt great. Like, you don't get anything done. And that's the thing that infuriates me about that shotgun. I still haven't found out where it's effective ranges.
No, what would be nice too is if the buildings had destruction built into them, so like the mortars did something half the time. Like you could, like,
That'd be nice.
Have you tried to blow up the gas station tanks?
You
No.
can do it, can't you?
No,
I think you can.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
I emptied a whole clip into one and it did nothing. I was like, well, fuck this. Then I died because I didn't have any bullets. I was pissed.
This game
He's
sucks.
going to the
I
pyromaniac.
have to
I want
get
to
it
see
with
the
like
world burn.
Must
detonate or something.
hey, have you set a mortar strike off into the heavens because you missed your target? So your laser beam
No way.
like got targeted like on a mountain 400 miles away.
No, I
I've done
have
that.
thrown a grenade and hit the hitbox of the wall, the invisible.
Yep.
Have you guys ever like
Myself in
gotten
the face.
trapped up when you know how like here's one thing that drives me nuts is like when they advance past you, if they get an objective and you're still up by the old objective, that becomes their spawn. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that?
And then you're out of bounds.
And you can't call in anything, and you're just stuck there and you're screwed. So essentially, like if you're doing a good job, like eating away their tickets, like it'll become their spawn, which I think is stupid because they can like go into your spawn and like kill you as soon as you come into the game, but you can't do that to them, which makes it really, really frustrating. I don't really understand why they did that.
Yep. Yeah, that happened to you, Sean. You got like lost, like the game mode changed. We were playing. What's that one that's like Rush? What's that called?
Combat mission.
Combat missions, and they destroyed an objective, and then they moved on to the next objective. So they're out of bounds line got drawn around. You're like, what the hell? Like, where am I?
Yeah. From one moment I was in the safe zone, the next minute I'm like about to die because I'm out of bounds. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That makes total sense. It's just instantaneous. Like, you blew the objective, now you're fucked. Good, too bad you were stuck here.
Hope you're ready to go back.
All right, we've been into this for about 45 minutes now. We've covered a lot regarding Warfighter. I know we're going to talk about it next week because I'm sure, I'm really, really hopeful we're going to see some sort of feedback from Danger Close, talking about potential patches might be coming up, things, let the community get some good, solid feedback. They can get some consistency from that feedback, and hopefully we'll see some changes coming up. I'm not going to give it a final verdict yet, because it's only been the first day that it's been released. So I'm not going to tell you guys if it's worth buying yet or not buying. It's too early. And I know probably most of us are going to do like a final say in a couple of days of whether or not they think it's totally worth it or not.
Have you guys looked at the forums?
No, I haven't had a chance yet today.
People are ripping it
It's
apart.
going to be
Battle.
good.
I would feel like I was thinking about this. It's like, should you feel bad for talking to Danger Close and basically insulting what they made? Because it seems like everyone is just ripping Danger Close, and I kind of feel bad for them because it's like something they spent 2 years working on. But then on the flip side, I'm like, well, it's just their job, so it's not like, I don't know, it's not like they're not going to get paid for it.
He
But
says that in
that.
tomorrow's newspaper, Danger Close executive jumps off bridge. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe I said something.
Listen, hey,
about him.
Tony, we predicted the future on this podcast last week.
did.
So
My bad.
let's,
The crossbow. I'm
Be
sorry.
careful.
Danger Close executive has long life and makes better games.
Putting off what Jake said then, so, guys, they have been listening, especially on Twitter, and I don't know just how effective that has been. I know what, Jake, you had mentioned that the guys that run the Medal of Honor Twitter also do the Battlefield Twitter as well, so it's...
well, I'm sure what EA does is they have a bunch of like
a
bodies
media.
that just they just do like the Need for Speed, because the Need for Speed one tweets out the same stuff the Battlefield ones do.
Okay. Well, I mean, they've been really responsive. I'm hopeful that some of that information is getting translated. Hopefully, they're actually looking at the forums and that information
They
is
are pretty
translated.
because Josh with the MOHHQ, they talk and they listen to what people are saying, and they flew them out there for PAX, so they care about what we're saying.
Okay,
A little bit, maybe not enough to do anything.
They're blocking
about
a lot
it.
of people in the forums. I think it's kind of funny.
Really?
Because there was so much negative stuff, then all of a sudden you just you refresh the page and it was just all gone magically.
Suddenly, magically gone.
It's like, oh, I love this game.
The negativity's gone. I love it. So good.
So there's a lesson to be learned from that then. So anyone in the stream that is playing the game, whether you like it or hate it, just remember, it's the thing I always stress on our channel, use constructive criticism. You don't have to love the game and go talk to the developers and stroke the cock of this game saying, oh my god, I love it so much. But you don't have to be complete assholes about it either, saying like, oh, this game sucks, fuck you faggots, this thing is terrible. Give them specific reasons why you do or do not like it. Be descriptive, because that's going to help them in the long run. Again, you can tell them, I fucking hate your game, but here's why. And as long as you tell them what it is, maybe they'll come back and they'll say, okay, well, we didn't really realize that. You're not the only one that said that. We will address this issue. So, again, constructive criticism.
Yeah, spend a few moments writing something. Don't just be in a rage and decide to write a post. Try to be a little bit critical. That usually works best.
Yeah. Okay, enough Medal of Honor, because we've killed a lot of time on this, and I want to get to the next thing. So what I really wanted to talk about was Battlefield 3 and how DICE came out and they said, hey, guess what? We're going to come out with a patch that is going to give console and PC gamers the option to remove the blue tint. And a lot of people were extremely excited about that. I was too. I don't know if I was going to like it for every map, but just having the option was phenomenal.
They made a specific point to say that they didn't feel like the blue tint being turned off gave anyone a competitive edge.
They're just douchebags is what ended up happening.
Bullshitting us.
Yep, they came back and they said, lol, nope, not happening.
Well, this isn't something new. That statement he used was the argument they were using before this entire debacle happened. They used that same generic, oh, it's the art style of Battlefield 3. And then, he's like, okay, well, don't worry about it. We're going to, we got a console command coming. Those who want to use it can use it. Those who don't want to use it can continue to enjoy Battlefield 3 the way it is. And then, on the flip side of the coin, he got everybody's hopes up, and then he just dropped you off a building. He's just like, hey, guys, we're going to give you this option. And he's just like, nope, just kidding. Boom.
Yep.
And I feel bad for the people who actually care, because I was going to use it, but I don't care to the point where I'm going to rage about it. I'm more frustrated with how I don't know if self-centered is the right word. It's just arrogant DICE is. It's like they have no concern for anybody's viewpoint other than their own viewpoint. And it's just really frustrating to be in a community where it's like a totalitarian government.
Hitler's.
That's a big leap right there.
I mean, think about it. They don't really take the community into consideration. I mean, we have to wait 3 months for patches. That's ridiculous. They didn't give us half the stuff they promised us in Battlefield 3. I mean, there's still sound bugs on PS3 and input lag and stuff like that. So.
But does this affect anybody's plans on Battlefield 4?
No.
Not for another year, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'll never buy premium. Let's say this much: if I somehow, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would never buy a premium type offering again, ever again.
Just so you give them $10 more?
Yeah, I would rather give $10 more and be able to pick and choose which DLC I buy. I mean, you got to think about it from the perspective of we're paying them for content that we don't have any idea what we're getting. It's it takes away the choice. Basically, they're like, all right, well, you already paid, so we can just give you garbage.
It would be cool if you could somehow have it prorated. So if you're like, you know what, I don't want, a return policy, you get 5 days or whatever. You can return armored kill. I'd return armored kill.
Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, if there was some sort of, because I don't know about you guys. In California, though, when you buy a car, you've got 14 days. You've got a cooldown, because there was a no cooldown. Once you bought a car, you couldn't bring it back. But now you have 2 weeks, you can bring your car back after buying it. So maybe there should
No
be
exceptions?
some. What's up?
No exceptions?
Well, I mean, there are exceptions, but there'd have to be like, you crash a car or something. But I mean, if you really legitimately
Drive it
don't,
across country.
Yeah, exactly,
Across the country
but
a few times.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you put shitload of miles on it, but the point is that before that there was no return policy. You could not return a car. So then now we've got downloadable content. Maybe I'm not one to be like big government, but maybe there should be some consumer protection where if you buy something and you don't like it, you can buy the other stuff and you don't like it, you can return it. Why can't you return DLC?
I'd love to see that just with fucking video games in general. Like, I think that's kind of bullshit that when you buy a game, best example is like years ago when Shaun White Snowboarding came out, my wife was like, I really want to play this game. So I was like, okay, I'll go get it. I could probably have fun playing that. That game was so absolutely atrocious. I drove back down to GameStop 2 hours later and said, I want to return this. And they said, best we can do is give you $25 in-store credit for a 2-hour-old game that had just come out of the package.
Yeah.
I know it's a little different because you're using the product, but at the same time, you should be able to return a video game the same day and get a full refund.
Yeah,
cash.
it's not like you can copy it. That's the thing that they're like, well, you could steal the game files. But you can't really do that unless you have like a completely modded Xbox,
Right. I'm fine with the time limit. If it's like a maximum of 3 days from purchase to get a full refund, that's fine. Inside that 3 days, you're going to know if a game is absolute shit or if it's good enough that you're willing to take a chance on it.
It's funny that you mentioned this, though. It's like half the threads last night on the Medal of Honor forum were, can I get a refund?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, they do that on
what I
like...
was going to say is I think the only exception would be for online passes. So if you're to buy a game that has an online pass, then maybe you take the $10 off of it since you've already used that online pass code.
Yeah, I was.
So you get $50 back instead of 60.
Yeah, because I got the physical copy, and all I had to do was install it from those files and use my key. And now I don't need the disc at all. I could, if I were to go return it and be like, oh nope, like that shit's already valid.
Right.
So the physical shit doesn't really matter. But I don't know. Invalidate
Well, I
your keys
know. Google Play lets you return apps that you pay for within like 15 minutes or something like that if it's not what you think it was, or you don't like it, or you're not satisfied for some reason, and they just refund you your money.
That's pretty cool. That's what I miss about my Android phone.
It's kind of like the same idea. Like, I don't know how we would do like boxed copies of games, but the digital age is coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sorry, Chris, there's a comment in the stream saying, FakeThriller, Slender Man is behind you because the shadow on your wall. Alright, I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, derailed. All right, so to get off first-person shooters, what other games are coming out that you're looking forward to? Because next week is Assassin's Creed 3. Anybody?
Oh, dude, if I had the money,
Is that
I'd
next
get that.
That's next week.
The 30th.
Actually, wait, no, take it back. Yeah, it's
No,
a
it's
week
next
from now,
week.
so it's the
It's-
30th. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit!
And then
I need
Halo's
to get
coming
up
out.
times.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited for Far Cry.
Dude, I'm
never played
really
any
excited
of
for The
those.
Last of Us, the PS3 exclusive game.
Son
That
of a-
game looks amazing.
I'm afraid that's going to turn into another Dead Island.
I'm gonna Google it.
No.
Far Cry or
Wait,
The
Wait,
Last
Far Cry?
Don't be silly.
No, The Last of Us.
Oh. Far
I
Cry
saw
looks
coverage though.
good.
Isn't like The Last of Us kind of like an Uncharted third-person sneaky?
By
kind of
Naughty
video?
Dog. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a good sign.
it's by the same developer as Uncharted, so I'm sure there'll be some
okay.
similarities. But the storyline of it, the overall like level design, if you will, the world design, everything, it just looks phenomenal. The attention to detail, just from what I've seen in the trailers, looks absolutely amazing. And I haven't played Uncharted myself, but I've watched Chris's Let's Plays, like especially of Uncharted 3, and it was to me those games are jaw-dropping, the level of quality in the gameplay, like just how good everything looks. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to get The Last of Us because it just looks so friggin' good.
Well, let me know how that is. I've never even heard of it, but if it's cool, I would love to
Oh
pick
man,
it.
it's like
I
one
think
of the
there was
big ones.
like which one? The Last
It's got
of
a
Us?
lot of
The Last of Us. It's like one of the big ones that a lot of people are talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Just
heard of it.
find it, go on Pixel Enemy, and it was a couple of weeks ago
They
now.
had it.
It was like a 15-minute gameplay video they uploaded, and it looked awesome.
Yeah, didn't they? They did at E3, right?
I think so. No, it was after that, I
Or
think.
PAX East or whatever the most recent one was.
There's going to be a lot of like
Prime.
apocalyptic games coming out because
I
the
know.
War Z is coming out, and so is DayZ.
Yeah. What do you think about DayZ? Is that going to have a resurgence in popularity when the standalone comes?
The
or-
DayZ community is huge. It's like
Yeah.
like War Z is an absolute piece of trash. Like from what I've heard, like there's no point in touching that because it's going to be free to play. It's not really. You had to pay to play the beta. I mean, what kind of company does something like that?
Really?
It's a
Yeah, you had
pre-order,
to
though, right?
invest. No, because it's free to play. You're basically investing money into like the in-game currency crap. It's like you could buy hats and stuff like Team Fortress.
Nice.
Weird.
I'm gonna accessorize my character.
But
But you think DayZ is gonna?
DayZ is gonna like. I like the atmosphere of DayZ better than a lot of games
Yeah.
I've played. The problem was the scripters, the hackers, and the people like just being douchebags. Like when the game first started, it was horrible. Then it got better, and then it got absolutely unplayable.
Well,
'Cause when it
people
first started,
topped out
people-
with
I
what
can't
they
even
could
get in the
do.
game.
People
just
would
crashes.
start where you would sit at the beach, and they would just wait for you to surface, and you would come off the beach, and then they would shoot you, and then they would steal your flashlight, which is pretty meaningless, and then they would wait for someone else to respawn.
Take
It
their
was more like
flashlight.
Yeah, it was like
We'll
an
collect all the flashlights.
humiliation type thing.
I'm gonna have to look into that because the other night, Chris, was it Sunday night that I got Blacklight Retribution?
Yeah, yeah.
So I know I mentioned it several times. I really want to get into PC gaming because just for shits and giggles, and something to do. I really, really want to change the pace. I've been playing console gaming all my life, so we were on Steam looking around, and this also came up. Chris and I were like, I was saying I really want to find some like cool mini games we could play, some like free to play games, just for a change of pace to upload on the channel. And he was like, "How about Blacklight Retribution? That's free on Steam." So we download it. I actually had a lot of fun playing it, and it was very easy to pick up. Like, I don't know if anyone has played it, but the controls and the menus are very intuitive. Like, it was very easy to pick up on, very basic, but still really, really fun. So, like, now I've got the PC itch. Like, that's all I want to play right now is Blacklight Retribution. If Medal of Honor didn't come out, I'd drop everything else and I would just sit on this keyboard because
Snoop.
I had a shit ton of fun.
Yeah,
You
don't
don't
even
go
have
see
to
your doctor
pay.
for that PC itch.
You don't even have to pay that much to play that game because like I was in the closed alpha and I was in the closed beta and the beta because when we went to PAX, that was basically like the game at PAX. Like everybody wanted to play Blacklight Retribution, and it was just so much different than all those other free to plays out there, and that's why I like it. Like it feels like a big budget title, yet you don't have to invest a penny and still have fun.
Now, what is the?
Right.
Do you know what? Like, is it just shortcuts that you can buy, or is there stuff that you just flat out
you
can't
buy
get?
like attachments for your gun, and they're only unlocked for a set amount of time. So let's say you want to try out a barrel, you pay like I don't know, like $3. That's probably actually too much. You pay however much tokens to unlock the barrel for 24 hours, and you can pay like $10 to unlock it forever. So if you find a really cool receiver for a weapon that really makes the gun like have no recoil, you can pay your $10 and you have it unlocked forever. And you can buy like armor and stuff like that, different grenades.
Okay, because I was wondering when that was going to come up. We haven't put enough time into it to unlock a lot of stuff, so I didn't know if we just weren't ever going to unlock anything or if we had to pay to do it. Because I don't. Those are like dangerous for me because I'd get too into it and I would they'd nickel and dime the shit out of me.
So when does DayZ actually drop?
They said November is their goal.
Well,
But I don't even know if I'm gonna have time for it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to come out, but they're doing it like they announced that they're going to do it like what happened with Minecraft, where everyone's going to get in early on an alpha build, and then they're going to continue to play while they patch it until eventually they release a final version. So I don't know what the game's going to be like when it first comes out, but I've seen some stuff that they're doing. Like they're making all the buildings in all the towns and everything.
Yeah, I saw some
enterable.
of those leaked screenshots.
You know what? I gotta tell you, I'm looking forward to it, especially if Medal of Honor ends up turning out to be what a lot of people are expecting it to be, like a flop after maybe a month. I'm gonna look for
If
other
that.
things I really want to play. So DayZ could definitely fill my time because I've seen a lot of Jess playing it, and it looks fun when you guys play it. I've seen Chris play it a few times, but he's not as funny to watch.
The key is a lot of screaming.
Wow.
You can make your own thumbnails from now on.
No,
Oh,
I'm too lazy to learn.
Trouble in Camelot.
cute.
I'm just kind of excited about getting into PC gaming because it's all about a change of pace. It's not like I'm looking to abandon console because that's not going to happen. I enjoy playing on console too much, but it would be nice just to change things up a little bit. And if I could get into Battlefield 3 on PC too, just to kind of take advantage of see what the game looks like with better graphics and stuff. I mean,
Master Race.
Master Race.
Oh my God.
I need to feel elite.
Yeah, you've got a year to get used to it for Battlefield 4.
Right, I gotta tell you, if I get into it, I could definitely see myself getting it. If Battlefield 4 gets released on the same consoles we have now, if no next-gen consoles are out for that, then I'm definitely gonna get it on PC, because I can't even imagine how much better... I mean, how much better can Battlefield 4 look compared to Battlefield 3? It'll be on the same engine, I'm assuming.
Well, they can get rid of that blue tint that we all like.
That's a defining feature of the
I must be
Battlefield
the only
series.
one who's just like, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, it's not a big
stupid,
problem
though.
until you
It's
see the
like-
pictures. They're different. Like,
It's
show the
like-
difference.
It's like painting a portrait, then taking cellophane and putting it over it, and being like, "All right, yep, looks good, guys."
I'm gonna look into the blue tint issue.
It's only a big deal on some maps, like Metro Crossing.
It's literally
Back to
the
Target.
video game version of Instagram. It's like you
It's bad
have a
on
picture.
Turkey.
They're
and
trying to
then
make it
you-
artistic, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what
See,
they
that's
want to
always-
do.
That's been a constant complaint with a lot of people, especially big YouTube commentators. They're talking about dull colors. They want to see bright, vibrant colors.
Well, it's boring when you play all the same maps, and it's like it looks like you're in like an episode of like Chernobyl Diaries or something.
I wish they. You know what I do wish is they'd offer day and night versions of the same map.
Mm.
That's what I'd love to play, like a
And
scene
real
crossing.
night version.
Oh, speaking
not
of
like
a
a
blue map.
navy blue
Speaking
version.
of a blue map.
Speaking of Death Valley,
What's that? Yeah, Death Valley is a
Yeah.
blue map.
that's a blue
Dude,
map.
have you seen what it looks like when you have colorblind assist on?
No.
Because it seriously looks like you're walking through a blueberry. It's so bluish purple. We first signed on to it because I liked the way the game looked with colorblind assist, and it just made things a little bit easier for me to see. Even though I'm not colorblind, it made it drastically different. So there was no confusing whatsoever. And then we got into that map. I was like, holy shit! I had to turn this off because this is way too fucking blue. I don't know.
Anyway.
At any rate.
Anyway.
We can keep going
Anyway.
with this. So, I don't know. At this point of the night, I mean, we're well over an hour, so I've got a couple more topics as usual we could go into, but they're going to have to wait until next week because I don't want to... I like this time frame. It's not too long, not too short. We covered a lot. If anyone else has anything, we can continue, but...
I like your new attitude with gaming, to be honest. You're playing
What,
on
me?
Xbox, you're talking about playing on PC. It's like a dream come true. You mentioned you might buy Halo.
Are you gonna get a Wii U?
Me
Oh, God.
thinks Chris is in love. You're not gonna get a Wii U? Let's go dominate people on the Wii U. Try harding on the Wii U.
Oh, God, no.
Trolling 5-6-year-old kids. I see it. I see a future in this.
way cuter than yours.
Yeah.
Wait, no, the Wii U is
Teabagging
going to
them.
release... The Wii U will release with a 2-disc set with Battlefield Premium Edition and Medal of Honor Premium Edition for cheaper than we all paid, and everyone's going to
That's
get
something
bullshit.
I wouldn't buy. Is Medal of Honor Premium? I would not buy
Right,
that.
right.
Oh, fuck no.
So we got the first map pack already. Everyone's got the Zero Dark 30 or whatever it is.
When does that come out?
December 19th, I think, is when they said. But they've only confirmed
Will it
2
be
maps
relevant?
so far. I don't know.
There's gonna be a race to the finish for them.
I gotta say that right before we sign off, the last thing I want to say about Medal of Honor, Jake, I feel the same way as you. That first patch that they release, the timing of when it comes out, and the extent to which they tweak the game, whether depending on how you want to look at it, whether they fix it or just tweak, that to me will define what happens to this game. It'll seal the game's fate, whether it's a contender that lasts a while, or it's just gonna fucking fall flat on its face after that first patch.
Not to jump
that's
into
it.
too many or too deep of a conversation, but a lot of the things that we were talking about last week were between what they might keep in or keep out of from the beta to the full version is like clearly in the game. Like a lot of the mechanics are going to stay and they're not going to change. So at this point, we're talking about bug fixes, right?
I don't think we can fix what it is. I think we're pretty much set in stone on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, it's not, like I said, we're not going to ramble on about it.
Right. We'll give it another week and we'll see how everyone feels.
Yeah.
You know what? Before we go, I have one more topic. It's not going to take too long. PAX East. Chris and I are going. Jess is going. We're going to hang out.
We're in the same hotel, right?
Yep, we got the
Yes.
same hotel.
Nice.
Lizzie of NYC, or Lizzie Kitty 21, I think is her Twitter now. She's a subscriber of ours. She actually has a pretty good video game blog that she's got. She's going to be there as well. What?
It's like a 10-page post about these games. I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
All right.
Good girl.
She's got a lot to say. Jake,
Yeah.
are you going to be able to make it? I know you said
They're already sold out of tickets. So,
Well,
like, I would have to buy them online.
On the black market.
But
From a scalper, yeah.
I don't know.
Single day.
Like,
Some
I
guys,
have,
like-
I feel like there's not a lot of incentive at PAX East, though. Like, I would have to find out there's going to be, like, something awesome there, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I heard
To
is
make-
that
Too good to go.
if you have like a big ticket item that you want to see, you gotta like get in line at 6 a.m. in the morning. Otherwise, you're probably
Yeah.
not gonna. You want to see?
No, that's not
Sound-
true.
Sid and people.
Because when I went to PAX West, like, or PAX Prime, we wanted to, they had Skyrim there. And long as you got there and got in line at the actual event, like, you could play Skyrim. And they let you play for, like, 30 minutes.
Oh, that would be sweet.
And we played, that's where I played
Battle-
Battlefield
don't know
3.
anything, so.
And then there was the Battlefield 3 tournament thing, so there was a lot of like exposure. If I knew they were going to have the same thing for Battlefield 4, I'd be all over that.
There's a chance there could be something. I mean, Battlefield 4 beta is supposed to drop
I don't know.
next fall, so it might be a little early.
It's like, what is it, March?
Yeah. And
They could have
Yeah.
something, because for...
Well, because they're not going to announce it till Gamescom or E3, I bet. Because that's what they did with Battlefield 3.
But Battlefield 3 was at PAX East 2011.
Was it? Are you sure?
I
Right.
think it was. It was all
I don't think it was
wasn't
playable, though, right?
Yeah, it was
wasn't.
playable because it had a fucking massive line. It was one of those we heard about it, we heard the hype building up on it, but being Call of Duty at the time, we were like, do we wait in line? Because it had a huge line all 3 days we were there, all day. So we never took the time, but people were playing. So there's a good chance Battlefield 4 could be at PAX East this year.
Well, I mean, if that turns out to be true, I would be.
All
I'd
of a
be
sudden,
interested.
Guys, I'm coming!
Unless
Totally
I hear
will
they have
change his opinion on it. Like, I'm coming.
until they're like, oh, by
See
the
you in
way,
Boston.
the blue filter will be in attendance.
Yeah, blue filter is back with
It'll
50%
be
more blue.
purple.
Yes.
This time it's a red filter so that it enrages you as you play.
Yes! It gets more and more red the more hours you have in the game.
The more times you get USAS frag grounds, the more
Yeah.
pissed off you get.
So for anyone that's interested in PAX East, you're gonna have to go check out the PAX Prime. PAX Prime, DERP, the PAX East website, and you'll see it's at the BCEC, the Boston Convention Exhibition Center, something like that. Anyway, easy to get to. It's easy for us. I mean, we only live 50 miles out of Boston, there, Chris.
Yeah. Represent.
I'm like 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah, that's right. You're off a major highway that gets you straight shot.
Oh yeah, I just go right down 90.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
Now we can find you.
Oh,
I'm Googling it right now.
I got a couple major highways I could take, and I'll see you guys in like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Tony, you should totally do it. I mean,
Take the 10 and just take it all the way to South Carolina and go north.
Yeah, you might as well pick
where
me
are
up. on the
you?
way.
yeah.
All right.
What state are you in? Dreamy
Where am
eyes?
I?
Yeah.
California.
You,
The best
what?
state.
Oh god.
Yeah, poor bastard.
I know. It's just horrible. Just horrible. We covered snowing last time, correct?
You fucker, you and your nice weather. You.
I know. It was cold enough today. I had to wear a hoodie. It's like 65 outside.
Oh, okay, well, you can go fuck yourself. On that note, we can wrap it up. All right, guys. That's going to wrap up this podcast. We appreciate everyone coming by to watch it. We'll be back next week, every Tuesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. We're out of here.
Later.
I hope I got my weight.